You think the 1970s were all about shag carpets and disco? Think again. In 1973, the average family faced a 30% jump in beef prices, forcing a metabolic revolution in the suburban kitchen. They call it stretching a dollar. But Vaxalis reveals it was actually the era of economic biochemistry. Before we surrendered our health to hamburger helper in a box, mothers used cabbage, potatoes, and rice to create a biological shield against inflation. This wasn't just budget cooking, it was ancestral density. One of these forgotten meals contains more gut-healing sulfur than a modern detox juice. Hit that subscribe button. Let's count down the 10 smartest ground beef longevity meals from the 1970s. 10. Hamburger soup, the hydration protocol. While modern diners think a burger must be on a bun, the Vaxalis truth is that liquid burgers are superior for nutrient absorption. By simmering ground beef with carrots, onions, and celery in a rich broth, you are performing a low-temperature extraction of minerals. The water-soluble vitamins that are usually lost during high-heat grilling are preserved in the soup. Adding a handful of barley or pasta, as they did in the 70s, provides a steady release of glucose. For less than $2 a pot, you are feeding a crowd while ensuring every cell in your body is hydrated and nourished. 9. Porcupine meatballs, the glycemic buffer. These get their name from the uncooked white rice mixed into the beef that pokes out like quills during cooking. From a longevity perspective, this is a masterclass in insulin management. When rice is cooked inside the fat of the meat, the lipids coat the starch granules. This fat buffering slows down the conversion of starch into sugar, preventing the massive insulin spike that leads to fat storage. By using a can of condensed tomato soup, which cost only 29 cents in 1975, mothers were accidentally providing a dose of lycopene, rendered bioavailable by the beef tallow. 8. Salisbury steak, the Maillard satiety hack. Named after Dr. James Salisbury, who believed beef was the key to human health, this recipe is all about the Maillard reaction. By pan-frying individual patties until they develop a deep mahogany crust, you are creating flavor compounds that trigger intense satiety signals in the brain. This fake steak used breadcrumbs and eggs to stretch a single pound of meat into dinner for 6. The rich brown gravy, built directly in the pan drippings, provides the healthy animal fats needed for hormone synthesis. It was working-class luxury that supported metabolic dignity. 7. Mock prime rib patties, the protein satiety protocol. This was pure, vintage showmanship during a recession. Home cooks used liquid smoke and Worcestershire sauce to convince the brain they were eating an expensive cut of meat. Biologically, this theater is important. When you present a meal as a high-value protein, your body increases the production of digestive enzymes. These thick patties, seared until crusty, provided the vitamin B12 and zinc needed for immune function, while the mushroom soup sauce added a hit of umami that satisfied the appetite more effectively than any modern meat substitute. 6. Homemade sloppy joes, the acetic acid defense. Before the manwich can took over, mothers made these from scratch. The Vaxalis hero here is the vinegar. The splash of vinegar used to cut through the richness of the beef and ketchup is a powerful glycemic blunter. Acetic acid slows the emptying of the stomach, ensuring that the sugars in the ketchup don't overwhelm your system. Served with pickles, another source of acid, these sandwiches were a surprisingly smart way to eat a high-carb bun. They proved that you could have a messy weekend lunch without sacrificing your metabolic health. 5. Stuffed bell peppers, the vitamin C shield. This dish appeared in every community cookbook for a reason. The bell pepper isn't just a container, it is a vitamin C powerhouse. Vitamin C is essential for the synthesis of collagen and the absorption of the non-heme iron found in the rice and tomato sauce. By parboiling the peppers and then baking them with the meat, you are creating a meal that is self-contained and fiber-rich. It is one of the healthiest 1970s options because the vegetable boat ensures you are eating a 1-to-1 ratio of plant fiber to animal protein. 4. Old school goulash, the one-pot metabolic efficiency. This one-pot wonder was the savior of weeknight dinners. The magic happens when the macaroni cooks directly in the tomatoey beefy juices. From a biochemical perspective, this one-pot method prevents the loss of nutrients that usually happens when you drain pasta water. All the minerals from the beef and the antioxidants from the canned tomatoes stay in the dish. It was survival cooking that provided a complete profile of amino acids and complex carbohydrates, ensuring that children had the energy to stay active without the brain fog of modern processed noodles. 3. Beef and cabbage skillet. The sulforaphane engine. In the mid-70s, cabbage was only 15 cents a pound. This is the Vaxalis gold of the list. Cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable loaded with sulforaphane, a compound that triggers your liver's phase 2 detoxification enzymes. By sautéing the cabbage in beef drippings, you are using animal fat to unlock the fat-soluble vitamins in the leaves. It transformed a cheap vegetable into a rich, satisfying meal that supported the microbiome and reduced systemic inflammation. It is the ultimate making-it-work longevity meal. 2. Hamburger gravy over mashed potatoes, the resistant starch protocol. This was a Depression-era holdover that saved lives in the 70s. The secret to longevity here is the potato. When you cook potatoes and serve them with a fat-rich gravy, you are creating a satiety anchor. However, if you allow those potatoes to cool slightly before eating, they develop resistant starch. This starch feeds the beneficial bacteria in your colon, producing butyrate, the fuel for a healthy gut wall. This dish hit the stomach like comfort in a bowl, because it provided the long-term energy needed for a working-class family to thrive. 1. Beef tamale pie, the architectural satiety champion. This was the American cousin of shepherd's pie, and it was a masterpiece of architectural cooking. The temple-like structure of meat on the bottom and a cornmeal or mashed potato dome on top served a biological purpose. The dense crust acts as a thermal seal, preserving the moisture and the delicate zinc and iron in the beef. The combination of corn and beef provides a complementary amino acid profile, while the ridges on the potato top, created with fork tines, maximize the Maillard reaction for flavor. It fed a family of 4 for under $3, providing the structural satiety needed for economic necessity without sacrificing biological power. The ground beef recipes of the 1970s weren't just about saving money. They were about maintaining our metabolic sovereignty. We didn't need superfoods from across the globe. We had cabbage, potatoes, and the wisdom of the cast iron skillet. We traded the resistant starch of the potato and the sulforaphane of the cabbage for plastic bags and helper boxes that leave us inflamed and hungry. My challenge to you: don't buy the box this week. Make the beef and cabbage skillet. Try the hamburger soup. Reclaim your metabolic dignity. Which of these recession recipes did your mother or grandmother make? Let me know in the comments if you're brave enough to bring back the Porcupine meatballs, number 9. At Vaxalis, we are reclaiming the past to protect the future. Thanks for watching.